Okay, so we were talking about sine graphs that were just plain old simple, right? And then we introduced when there's an a in front for the amplitude's always positive. And we knew before that one cycle or period length is either 2 pi or 360 based on the unit circle. Now we're getting into if there's actually a value after sine that represents the length of the period. And the equation that goes with that is 2 pi over b, meaning whatever the value of b is, you take 2 pi and divide by it, and that will be the length of the period or the cycle for this function. Okay, so let's try an equation here. What if we had something like this? Okay, so our amplitude in this situation is what? Is 1. And there's no reflection because there's no negative sign. Okay, and then this is going to be our period length. It's going to help find the period length. This is the b value. So to find your period length, you go 2 pi divided whatever b is. So 2 pi divided by 4 gives you can reduce those and you end up with half a pi. Okay, so that means this whole picture is going to fit in a whole half a pi. A whole half a pi. Doesn't make sense, but okay, so it's going to work the same way, except our period length isn't 2 pi anymore. It's half a pi. Okay, so then we have to think, what would be the middle? Like, what's half of half? A quarter. Okay, so you would have pi a quarter. Okay, and what's in between a quarter and a half? Okay, so let's think of this. See how our bottom is 4 and 2? 8 comes to my head when I see that. So if you think 1/8, 2/8 is a quarter, 3/8, and then 4/8 is a half, right? So you could write this as 1 or pi over 8. Pi over 4 is 2 pi over 8. This would be 3 pi over 8, and 4 pi over 8 is a half. Okay. So then we know our amp is still 1 and minus 1. And then we just draw the picture. So we start at 0, 0, and we go up, back, under, and back. Okay, so you go up, back, under, and back. Okay, let's try one of these, but using cos. Say I had this, and let's make this, we want to stay between 0 and 360 degrees. Okay, so we're not going to have radians on our bottom, on our Cartesian plane. We're going to have degrees now. Okay, so what's our amp in this situation? Is 1, and our period length is 2 pi divided by 2, right? Because this is our b value. So 2 pi divided by 2 means my period length is pi. And if we were saying that in degrees, what would that be? 180? Okay, so our picture is going to do a cycle in 180 degrees. Okay, so if I draw and I make 4 ticks, and I usually make 4 ticks because there's usually 4 movements. It goes up, back, down, and back. Okay, and 180 is my final period length. Okay, so halfway between 0 and 180 is 90. And halfway between 90 and 0 is 45. And halfway between 90 and 180 135. Okay, and again our period or our amp is 1. So with cos, we just start up at our amp. It starts at 1 and then it goes down, under, back, and up. So you go down, under, back, and up. Okay, so example 4 on page 229 says we're going to sketch this graph for at least one cycle. Okay, so that means we have to find the amp, the period length, max and min values, x and y intercepts, and domain and range. Okay, so if we start looking at this, what is our amplitude for this? It should be 3, right? Because our amplitude is never negative. So our amplitude for this question is 3. The minus means what? Yeah, means there is a reflection. Okay, the period length in this one is 2 pi over what? Over 2. So 2 pi over 2 is just pi. And then we'll start drawing the picture, okay? So, our period length is pi. Halfway in the middle is half of a pi. Half of a half is a quarter. And this would be 1.5, right? Like a quarter. 1 quarter, 2 quarters. Whoops, this should be 3 quarters. 1 quarter, 2 quarters, 3 quarters, 4 quarters. Okay, and our amplitude is 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3 down. Okay, and since it's a cos graph, we start at the amplitude, and it's a reflection, so usually we would start up at the positive 3, but we have to start at the negative 3 because of the reflection. So we start under first, and then you go to the line, and then you go to the top amplitude, then you're back at the line, and then you finish off under at 3 again. Okay, so we're heading up and over and back and under. And now, what's our max point? Yep, our max is 3. Our min is negative 3. What's our x-intercepts? We hit pi over 4 and 3 pi over 4. Okay, and our y, so these were x-intercepts. And our y-intercept, negative 3. Okay, and our domain, we could keep going and going and going, right? So our domain is XER, all real numbers. And our range is what? What are we caught between? Well, we're caught between here and here. Yeah. So I have to be greater than minus 3, but less than 3.